Hey everyone, welcome to our Blender Beginner series. So this whole series is broken up into 6 different chapters. So in chapter 1, we'll look at how to do all the modeling, so taking basic primitive shapes inside Blender and creating more complex 3D assets. And then chapter 2, we'll have a look at how to UV unwrap all of our models so that we can take it into texturing, which we'll cover in chapter 3. Then chapter 4, we'll look at our lighting and our cameras before we start looking at some surface imperfections. And then finally, we'll do rendering and compositing. So there are some resources that you need to download to be able to follow along. So if you click the link in the description of the video, you will find all the reference images we use to actually model everything. There's also a file of all the custom decals I've created that you can use inside the scene, and there's also an ebook that talks through the whole process as well, so you can either follow along to the videos or you can follow along to the ebook as well. It covers the same things. If you've got any questions about anything as you're going through it, leave a comment in the video that you're struggling with, and I'll get back to you. Hey everyone, welcome back to our Blender Beginner series. So in the last video we started to unwrap some of our models to help us start to texture everything, so we're going to carry on unwrapping as we're going along. So what I'm going to do, let's grab our can and / to isolate it. I'm going to get off material preview because it's a bit harder to see. Tab to go to edit mode, start selecting these edges. So remember, if I've got subdivision on there, what I'll tend to do is cancel it just so it's easier to see what's going on. And I've got my UV editor open along here. And if you haven't got this window open, if you come to the top so you get that crosshair, you can drag it over like this and select this menu and go to UV editor. If you get too many windows open like I've now got, you can always get rid of my own view area and close area. So I've now got my UV editor here so you can see what's going to happen. So let's start selecting some edges. So to go to edge mode, I'm going to start selecting some of these edges here. Remember, it's right click, mark seam. Like that. And because we've got the lip of our cam, we need to make sure we get inside here as well. Mark seam. Grab this, well, not that one. Let's grab this one along here because it terminates here. And then we're going to grab along here, come up, grab along here. Let's not grab there. Let's just grab inside there and here and get the top as well. Like that. Right click and mark seam. I need to get the lip where our ring pull is going to be. Right click and mark seam. And then what we're going to want is to start grabbing along here. On down shift and clicking. Right click, mark seam. Let's see how that looks. 3, to get it face mode, A select all, U, and wrap minimal stretch. So you see here our can's now laid out. So we've got the top of our can, bottom of our can, the rim, and then the main body, which is exactly what we want. And isolate. Let's make sure we select that can and then link materials. You see here, then the scale is quite off. So we go to UV shader editor, sorry. Not UV editor, I was right the first time. Select it all. And then we're going to scale that smaller so that the squares become bigger. Something like that. And then let's do the other parts of our can. So let's grab this edge along here. Once you get a bit more comfortable knowing where seams tend to lie, you do find yourself getting quite a bit faster as you go around. seam. Let's see how that looks. You can always tell as well, if you unwrap it and you forgot a seam, it always looks very distorted in your UV editor, so it's normally pretty easy to tell if you've made a bit of a mistake. I just need to add in a couple of seams along here. Mark seam. And let's just grab. Now here, we actually probably, because we're not going to see it, let's delete these faces, much like we did with some of the other models like the Mandalorian helmet. If there's parts that aren't going to get seen, there's no sense in having the faces on there. It also makes it considerably easier when you come to unwrapping it, because you don't need to do as much as you thought you did. Like that. I'll grab that whole edge there. Like that. Because yeah, if it's going to be from there, there's no way you're going to see any of those details. There we go. Let's see how that looks. So see here, we've clearly got some distortion here because we've forgotten to unwrap certain parts. Let's see where that, so you can see along here somewhere we haven't got a seam properly. So let's grab those. Let's clear that seam. Also, we need to mark the seam and then we'll select that and clear that seam. There you go. So you see that's now got rid of that distortion that we had. So that should then be that can done. So let's grab all those other models, grab the can, Control L, link materials, and then we can scale this to the right sort of size that we need. Like that. So our can is now done. This tissue is a nice easy one to do, so we can literally just unwrap because it's completely flat. Link materials, scale it down like that. Let's grab our jar. So you got to be careful with things like the jar, because we've added some thickness to the inside as well. You need to make sure you unwrap the inside part as well, otherwise it's not going to be fully unwrapped. So I need to grab some of these inside edges along here and at the bottom as well. And then what we're going to do is grab that seam like that, right click, mark seam, like that. Bring that back. Now we can't currently unwrap that because that's still a curve, so what we need to do is right click and convert to mesh like that, and then we're going to isolate grab an edge that just goes all the way around. Mark seam. Like that. Let's grab those two. Link materials. Like that. Maybe a little bit smaller. There you go, something like that. Grab our cutting mat. Grab the outside edges. And let's put the seams at the back just so you don't see them. So sometimes it's about strategically where you're going to put seams so that no one's ever going to know they're there. Because they are always going to be there. It's just a case of how do you best disguise them. Mark seam. Like that. There you go. See how quickly you can start to get along with it once you get in the rhythm. So we're going to do just one of these pens because then we'll just duplicate it much like we did with the legs. So let's give this a save. Let's come out of material preview mode for a second. Turn off. So first of all, let's hide the bits that we've already done. That makes it a bit easier to see what's going on. I'm just pressing H to hide all the bits that we know we've done. Okay. So let's grab our glasses here. I'm going to shade flat just so we can see it a bit better. Tab to go to edit mode. Hold on Alt and just select these edges, making sure we've gone all the way around. Like that, so that going all the way around. Looks like it, so obviously we need to have some cuts going around here. We don't want this to be a really, really long UV. Mark seam. Mark seam. Let's see how that looks. There you go. Let's hide that. We'll do the glasses. The lenses, sorry, is what I meant to say there. Grab that going all the way around. What else to do? Along here as well. Like that. Hide that one. Isolate. Grab these ones. Unwrap. Looking good. Give this a save. Let's grab the arm. I'm going to get rid of our subdivision on there. Shade flat. grab these edges here. Apologies, there's a load of noise in the background there. The bin men are coming now, and their lorry is quite noisy. Hopefully the microphone didn't pick up, but you never know. Right, that's going to be quite long as well, isn't it? So we don't want it to be that long, so let's do this here. Mark seam, like that. Okay, mark seam. So then it's just our hinges for our glasses left to do. Right, let's just check that that's done the job for that one. Now, so you see we've got some distortion still here, so we need to make sure, it's because we got under here, that's why. Let's grab those. And then what we're going to want is to grab the seam along there. Get rid of this. Mark seam. Okay, so you see we've still got quite a bit of distortion going on this bit, so we've clearly forgotten to put a seam somewhere. So let's okay, so that is now fine. So it's this one here we need to do. Let's do the same thing. So we're going to grab all these edges here. Grab another edge there. Mark seam, and I think we did unfold, didn't we? There we go. So now we've not got any strange distortion going on. That's this one we have not unwrapped yet. So this one, should be a little bit easier. Right click and mark seam. And that is this one here because we haven't got any edges yet for that. So let's grab along there. Mark seam. Okay, so those hinges are all done. We'll hide those. And then we'll just grab those as well. So actually, what we can probably get away with, let's hide the bottom part there. We're going to delete those. Grab these. Shift D. Generate. Mirror. Along. Is that not going to work? We've got a weird angle. Tell you what, let's do this. Shift D to duplicate. Move it over. Let's mirror that on X. Rotate it round. So set the origin geometry, rotate it round. Let's delete those ones and move those into position like that. Let's unhide everything, check that we've put those back in the right place. Material preview. Let's then grab all of these. Link materials, check we did grab everything that we missed. There we go, missed these ones. Like that. Okay, let's just scale those up. Okay, what we're actually going to do is tab with all of those selected. Let's get those all at the same time. Like that, I'll do the same. For these, select all those at the same time. Tab to go to edit mode. A, scale. Like that. Okay, so that's our glasses unwrapped. Give this a save. Again, because I don't want this to become too long of a video, we'll stop there. We'll just, because of OCD, we'll get half the table done over and we'll go to the other side as well. So stop there. Hopefully you are enjoying following along, and I'll see you in the next video.